Do you understand what you're charged with?
No, I don't quite understand those no, I don't. I don't plan to plea. I guess I'll answer in affirmative if Demers is not acquiesced to quasi-jury. I'm Gordy. I'm not Mr. Cooley. I'm Gordy. I'm a man. I'm not a person. If you have any papers in front of you with my signature on them, it's because that is what was required for me to get away from my captor.
All right, guys. Today we're looking at a smug and completely unhinged sovereign citizen. This guy genuinely believes the police captured him like he's some kind of prisoner of war, and then he goes full sovereign mode in front of the judge. He starts ranting about how he's not subject to the law and how the court has no authority over him. Sorry, buddy, that's just not how reality works. Sovereign citizens love to think they can magically opt out of the law, but you can't. Let me know in the comments what you think about this guy. Do you think he's aware enough to realize how ridiculous he sounds, or is he completely detached from reality? Let's dive into this heated courtroom showdown.
Are you Gordon Cooley? You'll need to unmute your screen, sir.
Yes, I am the man that is that person.
So you're Gordon Cooley?
Yep.
Very well. State appears by Jill Gillette, County Attorney. Mr. Cooley, there's been an amended complaint filed on, it looks like April 17th. You're charged with driving while suspended as a second offense for on or about March the 25th of 2024 in Elk County, Kansas. If indeed you have a prior conviction where this would be a second offense, that's a Class A misdemeanor. A Class A misdemeanor is punishable up to 1 year in the county jail and a fine not to exceed $2,500. Additionally, with a second offense for driving while suspended, there's a mandatory 5-day minimum sentence. However, a person can be placed on probation from that, but there is mandatory sentence that would have to be imposed. Do you understand what you're charged with?
No, I don't quite understand those no, I don't.
What's your question in regards to what you're charged with?
Well, I think this is a matter of a mistaken identity. My persons was never involved in anything. I'm carrying my property from point A to point B. I have there's no vested interest of the state to even stop me. I'm exercising my God-given constitutionally protected rights. And I stated that to the man acting as the police officer. I didn't present him with a
license. You are charged, sir. Hold on. You're charged with driving while suspended, a second offense. That would indicate to me that you've had a first offense.
No.
Have you been in court before on this type of charge?
Nope, not on driving while suspended. No, I have not.
All right. Well, that is what you're charged with. You don't have to agree with it. You can certainly, that is an issue at trial if you feel you have a defense. As with the others that I've explained, you have certain rights. You are charged with a misdemeanor, so you are entitled to be represented by a counsel. And if you wish to apply for court-appointed counsel, if you meet the financial guidelines, I would appoint one to represent you. You also have the right to represent yourself. You also have the right to have counsel of your own choosing at your own expense. So at this time, if you wish to have a trial, if you wish to speak with an attorney or counsel, would he qualify under any programs you have since you charge this as a second offense?
No.
All right. So apparently diversion wouldn't be an option for you. So if you're wishing to have a trial or to speak with an attorney, your plea at this time should be not guilty. If you wish to plead guilty, then we'd proceed to sentencing. But based upon what you're telling me, those would be issues that could be addressed at trial. So at this time, how do you wish to plead?
I don't plan to plea. I guess I'll answer in affirmative if Demers is not acquiesced to quasi-jurisdiction.
If you're not going to enter a formal plea, you're standing mute, and I will enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf.
Okay, I exercise my right to trial by jury then. I'd like to face the man or the woman that claims I've done them harm or law.
Mr. Cooley, if you wish to have a trial by jury.
I'm Gordy. I'm not Mr. Cooley. I'm Gordy. I'm a man. I'm not a person.
All right. Mr. Cooley.
Can I ask you a
Mr.
question,
Cooley.
sir?
You need to be quiet for a moment. I'm going to explain what the situation is.
Gordy has got to have one of the goofiest names I've ever heard, and now this guy is seriously trying to claim identity fraud, like the court is just going to fall for it. He's acting as if he's some kind of mastermind pulling off a clever legal trick, but in reality, he's just digging his own grave. Let's talk about the law for a second. Lying in court, also known as perjury, is a very serious crime. Perjury happens when you knowingly make false statements under oath, and it's a felony. Depending on where you are, it can carry serious consequences, including up to 5 years in prison and some hefty fines. On top of that, it can permanently destroy your credibility in the legal system and leave you with a criminal record. So while Gordy is out here making wild claims, all he's really doing is sinking himself deeper into a hole. It's honestly wild that he thinks he can get away with this. Let me know what you think about Gordy so far, and what your thoughts are on the judge as well. Let's dive back in.
You have the right to be represented by counsel. You entered a plea, refusing to enter a plea, which is fine. A person can stand mute, and I will set this matter for trial. If you wish to be or have a jury trial, you have the right to do so. However, you need to do that in the proper form. With a misdemeanor offense, you have to file a written motion for that request. Otherwise, it's set before the court. So you would need to do that in a timely way. If you're going to represent yourself, you would have to follow the rules as though you're an attorney. So all of those things would, most people don't have the training to where if they're going to do a jury trial, they're better off being represented by counsel. But that's a choice that you're going to have to make.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Yes, you may.
Can there be a valid cause of action without an injured party?
Sir, that's not a valid question for what we're doing here today.
I've tried settling this matter in the private twice. If you have any papers in front of you with my signature on them, it's because that is what was required for me to get away from my captor.
Poor Gordy, he's been arrested, and now he actually has to face the consequences of committing a crime. Instead of taking responsibility, he's playing the victim. Come on, Gordy. You did the crime, now you've got to do the time, and it's only 5 days. What's crazy is how so many sovereign citizens refuse to take accountability for their actions. They always want to blame everyone else instead of owning what they've done. It honestly makes you wonder, is this the direction America is headed? People trying to dodge responsibility just because they think the law doesn't apply to them. It's wild, and I swear I see more of this behavior every single day. The lack of accountability is becoming a common trend at this point, and it's getting seriously ridiculous. Does anyone else notice this? Let's dive back in.
I don't understand what a man thinks that he has the authority to take another man and throw them in a box when they have harmed no man or woman, no
Mr.
claim
Cooley,
has been brought
Mr. Cooley,
against them.
You need to be quiet now. We're going to give you a court date, and you can advise me how you're going to proceed at that court date. If you're going to apply for a jury trial, then you'll need to make that application by that time. Otherwise, you'll be set for a bench trial. That's before the court. Sarah, could you give us a date, please?
What sort of time frame would you like, Judge? 30 minutes?
Approximately 30 days, 30 minutes would be fine.
We can do May 15th at 2:30.
At
Judge,
2:30?
I'm out that afternoon. We could do 11:30 if there's nothing else scheduled there.
We put that for a trial for an hour, didn't we? So
If you only need 30 minutes, we could do the 11 to 12.
well, we said something at 10:30, I believe, or was it the 10 o'clock that was set for trial?
It was the 10:30 to 11:30 that was set.
Okay, let's set this at 11:30 for a pretrial. So, Mr. Cooley, you will need to appear at the courthouse in Howard. And if you're going to file a motion for a jury trial, you need to have done so by that time. If you're going to hire an attorney, you need to do that. If you're going to apply for an attorney, I would suggest that you do that as soon as possible, so that you can have counsel at that time.
Am I going to be able to face the man or the woman that has a claim before me, or are you going to discharge the matter? If there's not a man or a woman here, then this matter needs to be discharged.
Sir, I've heard these arguments before, and those are not legal arguments. Somebody's made these things.
I'm not a member of the legal society.
Sir,
Can we bring the law to the court, please?
you've been-
Can we bring
you've
the
been-
law to the court?
Mr. Cooley, stop interrupting. At your hearing, if you have motions that you wish to have heard, you can file them in advance. I would strongly recommend you be represented by counsel. But your court appearance is May 15th at 11:30, and you are to be here in person.
I will invoke my common law rights.
Hey. It's honestly kind of funny how Gordy seems to genuinely believe he's the victim here. Maybe he really does, maybe he doesn't, it's hard to tell. Either way, he's acting like the entire system is out to get him. Then again, he could just be putting on an act to try and wiggle his way out of the case. Regardless, it's a complete mess. And why is it that sovereign citizens always fall back on the same argument, that there needs to be a victim present for them to be prosecuted? If you're driving without a license, that's on you. The law doesn't need a victim to show up for you to be held accountable. It's wild how they try to twist the system to fit their own narrative, but that's just not how it works. People like Gordy, and others we've covered on this channel, sometimes come off as genuinely detached from reality. But at the same time, I'll admit there's another side to this. If someone has no money, can't afford a ticket, and is just trying to stall a case for a few days or a week, I can understand why they might try this approach. I don't agree with it at all. I think it's reckless, idiotic, and a waste of taxpayer money, but there are two sides here. Ultimately, I side with the judge on this one. That said, I really want to hear what you guys think. Do you believe Gordy actually bought into his own nonsense, or was he just trying to play the system? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this, make sure to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.